everyone, this is MCC Designs. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Marissa and today we're going to be talking about the Tunisian Simple Stitch. The Tunisian Simple Stitch is one of my favorite Tunisian crochet stitches and I love the fabric that it makes. For this stitch tutorial you're going to need yarn of your choice, a crochet hook the size recommended for that yarn or a little bigger, a yarn needle, and a pair of scissors. Optional for this tutorial, if you want to make a bigger project than what I'm going to make, you'll need a cord to attach to your crochet hook in order to make a larger project. If you're unfamiliar with Tunisian crochet, I hope this is going to be a tutorial that helps you and gets you excited about a new craft that I think is a good marriage between knitting and crocheting. So let's get started. Alright everyone, so we're going to get started. We have our crochet hook here and we have our yarn. So to get started, I'm going to start with some chains. I'm going to chain about 20. So to start that off, I'm going to do a traditional slip knot. That almost every crochet project will start with. And then we're going to chain 20. Just as normal. I would chain pretty loosely so that it's easier to do your setup row. I'm going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20. So you have your chains ready to go, and what we're going to do to start the foundation row for the Tunisian Crochet Simple Stitch is we're going to turn our chain over and we'll be working into these back bumps here. I find that it gives Tunisian crochet a much cleaner look at the end, so for Tunisian I would recommend always working in the back bumps for your starter row. So this first loop on our hook, it counts as our first loop, our first stitch if you will. And we're going to go right behind that first chain to the second chain and work in this first bump here. So we're going to take our hook and insert it into that first bump. And this is what makes it so important for that chain to be nice and loose so it's easier to get your hook into. Then you're going to yarn over and you're going to pull up a loop through that bump. So now you should have 2 loops on your hook. And unlike traditional crochet, we're not going to pull through any more here. We're going to continue grabbing loops all throughout that long chain. So we're going to repeat that process. Insert your hook under that back bump, yarn over, and pull up a loop. So now we have 3, and as you can see, it's going into the backs of those stitches, and the other edge will have those nice clean V's on it. So just repeating that again, insert your hook into the back bump, yarn over, and pull up a loop. Insert your hook under that bump, yarn over, pull up a loop. So you're just going to keep doing that all the way down into your last stitch, and we'll meet back here. So I have 2 stitches left to work, so we're just going to insert our hook under that back bump, yarn over, pull up a loop, and do the same with the last, inserting it just as normal, yarning over and pulling up a loop. So now you should have all of your stitches live on your crochet hook. So I'm just going to double check that I picked all the stitches up and count each of these little loops that's on the hook. So that would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20. So as you know, I chained 20 to start with and I have 20 loops. However long you want to make your project depends on how many chains you do to start with. So if I wanted to have a blanket size project, I might do 200 chains, and then I would need to have 200 loops to make sure that I have enough loops to match that chain and to make sure I had picked up all those stitches. This is typically called your foundation row for Tunisian crochet, and I have yet to come across a Tunisian crochet stitch that does not start with this row. So this is an especially important step in the process. And now we'll just start the second row. And however you feel comfortable holding your stitches, it can be very tricky at first to maneuver it. If you need to scrunch your stitches up, that's perfectly fine, and it shouldn't change their shape or anything like that. Or if you want to leave them more loose, definitely do that. Also, if you're using a traditional crochet hook with no cord on it, you want to make sure that they're not going to slip off that end, so just be mindful that they don't get too close to it. Okay, so starting your second row, we're going to do a chain 1. So you're going to yarn over, pull through that first loop on your hook, just like so. So now that is a chain 1, and that'll start your side edge. So next we're going to do a yarn over, and then pull through 2 loops on your hook. Yarn over, pull through 2 loops on your hook. And you're going to complete that all the way down. So yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. And you're just going to keep doing that to the end of the row. And this is a 2-row repeat for Tunisian Simple Stitch. And typically this will be the return pass for most, if not all, Tunisian stitches. Just pulling through 2 loops, continuing down to the last 2. So here are my last 3. Pull through 2, yarn over, pull through those last 2. So you should be left with 1 loop on your hook at the end. And here is that first set of 2 rows. So we'll now move on to the next row. And so for this one, you're going to work into all of these vertical bars along your project. So here's one, there's another, and here's another. You're not going to work into this first set here because this stitch is the one that counts as your first stitch. So what we're going to do is we're going to insert our hook through the middle of these 2 bars here, going under that vertical bar, right into the middle. Then we're going to yarn over and pull up a loop. So you can see how it's forming that traditional Tunisian Simple Stitch look. Now for our second stitch, we're going to insert our hook under that vertical bar, yarn over, and pull up a loop. And just like the setup row, you're going to keep all of these loops live on your hook until you reach the other end. And that's inserting under that vertical bar, yarning over, and pulling up a loop. And you're just going to continue that all the way down your project. And you're starting to see how the fabric is forming. And doing this, it's very holy on this end, but as you get that next row going, it does tighten up those stitches and you get more of that solid looking fabric that comes with Tunisian Simple Stitch. So we're going to just keep doing that, inserting under the vertical bar, yarning over, pulling up a loop, all the way down to the end. So we've reached our last 2 stitches here. So I'm going to insert under that vertical bar, yarn over, pull up a loop. And then for this last one, it can be a little tricky, but you're going to want to turn the project on its side. So you can see these 2 lines here, and you're going to work underneath both of those vertical bars here on this side. You're going to yarn over, pull through just like the other ones, and that is what it should be looking like. So now you've done your next row all the way to the end, and feel free to count your bars once again to make sure you're still on the same track and have the same number of stitches live on your hook that you started with in chains. So now we're going to be doing the return pass, and this is going to be exactly as the last return pass we did. So we're going to chain 1 to start, so yarn over, pull through 1 loop, and then we're going to do the 2 loop all the way down to the end, pulling through 2. So yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, and you're going to do that all the way down, yarn over, pull through 2, 2, 2, and 2 until you finish this row. So I'm on my last stitch for this row, so I'm going to yarn over and pull through 2, and that is the 3rd and 4th row finished. So now we're going to repeat that same process of the 2-row repeat to make our full square. So we're going to insert under that first vertical bar, yarn over, pull up a loop. Insert your hook under the bar, yarn over, pull up a loop. And you're going to do this all the way down the row once again. Alright, I'm on my last stitch, and I'll just go through that again because this can be a trickier part of the process. So remember, we're going under 2 different loops for this one. So you're going to insert in the middle of this V here, and you're going to be going under 2. Yarning over and pulling up a loop. And that will give you a nice clean edge on the side with those V's, similar to how the bottom of your project looks. And this is how it should be looking at this point. We are about to do our next return pass. So as previously, it's going to be chaining 1, and then yarning over and pulling through 2 loops on your hook. Yarning over, pull through 2 loops, all the way back down to the beginning. So I'm just finishing up this return pass, yarning over and pulling through the last 2 loops on my hook, and at this point you should have a little swatch that looks something like this. And it's perfectly okay if your project is already starting to curl up on itself. Tunisian crochet is notorious for liking to curl. Some tips and tricks that can help prevent this or make it less aggressive of a curl is to use a larger hook size than suggested with your particular type of yarn, to hold your yarn very loosely, keeping a loose tension, and after your project is complete, doing a wet block of some sort to help relax those fibers and really help stretch out the project so that it lays more flat. Continuing on with this swatch, we're going to do the same 2-row repeat until we reach a square type shape for our little swatch. So I'm going to keep working on that, and then I will meet you back here to show you the finishing steps of a Tunisian Simple Stitch project and how you would kind of bind off the project and finish what you're working on. Okay, so I've finished up my last row of my little square here, and you can see that my project is curling quite a bit, which is perfectly normal. And I'm going to start the final row to give it a clean final edge and to finish off the little project that I'm working on here. So what we're going to do first is we're still going to work into those vertical bars. So we're going to go under the first one. We're inserting our hook under that vertical bar, yarning over and pulling up a loop. But instead of keeping all of our loops on our hook, what we're going to do is we're going to do a chain 1 every time. So pulling that first loop here through that second loop, just like that. Right? So then we only have 1 stitch instead of the 2. So we're going to do that again. So we're inserting our hook under the vertical bar, yarning over, pulling up a loop, and then we're going to pull through the loop again. Just like that. And you can see the edge already starting to form and finishing off those stitches. So you insert your hook under the vertical bar, yarn over, and pull through your loop. 2 loops on your hook, pull through that second loop to 1 loop on your hook. And you're just going to continue that all the way down. So insert your hook under that vertical bar, yarn over, pull up that loop, and pull through that second loop. Just like so. And that gives you that really pretty nice edge, and it's carried on down the sides, the bottom since we worked in that back bump, and onto that other side as well. So I'm just going to continue that all the way down. And remember, with Tunisian Crochet Simple Stitch, you can do this stitch in any number of stitches to start with to make your project as big as a blanket or as small as this little swatch here. I've made lots of washcloths with this pattern, with this stitch pattern, and it's really great. It's one of my favorite Tunisian stitches. And really, your Tunisian project, as I've said, just depends on the size of your hook. So if you want to add a longer cord, that will give you a bigger project because it allows you to work more loops on your hook at one time. So I'm going to get to the end here, and then I will show you how I like to finish them. Okay, so I'm at my last 2 stitches here, so I'm going to repeat the same process, inserting my hook under the loop, grabbing that loop and pulling through that stitch. And now we're going to do the same thing with the edge, making sure to go under both of those vertical bars to the side, yarning over, pulling up that loop, and pulling through that last loop. So now we have completed our project in the sense that we no longer have any crocheting to do, and now we'll just finish off our ends and weave those in. So to secure this in place so that it doesn't come undone, I'm going to chain 1, pull my yarn out, grab my scissors. I'm just going to cut a nice long tail for sewing in, just like that. And then I'm going to use my hook to pull the rest of the yarn out. So that chain 1 just secures that in with a little tug. And now we have 2 ends that need to be woven in. And this is what your stitch pattern should look like. And your edges are all clean. And now we can start sewing in our end. So you can take your yarn needle and thread that with your end. And what I like to do with Tunisian is I like to weave my stitches in on the back side of the work. So this is what your back will look like. Has those nice little purl bumps that look a lot like knitting. And I'm going to just take my yarn and pop my yarn needle under some of those back ridges, just like so, just to get that yarn on the back. And you can always check the front to make sure it's not coming through in any weird way. And it looks good to me in that little corner. So you're just going to turn and we're going to work. So you're just going to flip it over. And then what I like to do is work along this line of ridges here, anywhere in the project really, but you're going to go under that first ridge with your needle and then go under the next one and the next one and so forth. So you can have a couple of them on your needle before you pull through your yarn. Okay, so I've got about 5 there, and then I'm going to pull through all of those loops with my yarn and give it a little tug, but you don't want it to be too tight. Then I'm going to stretch the fabric so it relaxes. And then I like to go back the opposite direction on that same line. Also, if you have other preferences for weaving in your ends, that is perfectly fine. There's no exact right or wrong way to weave your ends in, just whatever won't come undone to whatever capacity you need it for. So for this, I'm not super worried about it being very secure because it's just a little swatch and it's not something that's going to be worn often like a sweater or anything like that. So you can't see from the front that I've woven the ends in, and I think that's pretty secure. My rule of thumb is usually to make the yarn go in 3 directions, because your project often won't be able to be pulled in 3 different directions at once, but 2 for this is perfectly okay. And then I'm going to just cut off that excess, and that is that. And so you would do the same thing with any other ends that are in your project if you're changing colors or what have you. And that is how you do the Tunisian Simple Stitch. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial, and if you have any questions, please feel free to drop them down in the comment section. If I left anything out, don't be afraid to ask about it, and if you liked this video, please don't forget to like and subscribe, and let me know if there's any other stitch tutorials you would like to see. I've had such a fun time crocheting with you all, and please let me know what projects you create from this, and feel free to tag me on Instagram, TikTok, wherever you can find me, so that I can see what you end up making with Tunisian Simple Stitch. Thank you all so much, and I'll see you next time.